Have you ever felt like you could not get ahead? You might be causing this by what you believe. By the end of this video, you will have a good start on identifying some limiting beliefs that are causing you to not grow and that you are struggling with, and you may not even know that you're struggling with them. Hi, I'm Scott. I founded penandjournal.com. I help people use journaling to improve their focus, their productivity, and their mindfulness. Today, we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, what they are, how to identify them, and what to do about it. Recently, I was doing some research on the benefits of journaling. I love it. I read the research articles all the time. And I stumbled into an article about how powerful a belief system is. Essentially, what you believe impacts the outcome of your life. Just like I did a video recently on what you focus on, I'll put it up in the card here, can change your trajectory to whether you're focusing on positive things or you're focusing on negative things. Your belief system is very similar. What you believe about a situation can change your trajectory also. It can limit you or it can help you grow. So let's start talking about the 5 big categories that I believe are the important limiting beliefs that we should wrestle down. But first, let's break down what kind of beliefs that I'm talking about. Our minds are very efficient at creating rule sets for us. They're self-preservation rules, actually. So a good example would be, do I jump off the bridge? You're probably afraid to jump off a bridge because your mind is telling you you're going to get hurt, so don't jump off the bridge. This is a very healthy belief. This is a healthy rule. On the other hand, there are limiting rules that your mind put together. In the same vein, self-preservation, one example could be, I'm a terrible public speaker, so I'm going to not do any public speaking. Well, what happens is that what you believe is actually what is the outcome. So when you get up in front to give that presentation to your boss or give that presentation to the executive team someday, if you really believe that you're terrible at public speaking, guess what? You're going to be terrible. So that is a limiting belief. You've got healthy beliefs, like don't jump off the bridge. You've got unhealthy beliefs, which is you're a terrible public speaker. And the unhealthy ones are limiting to your growth. Does that kind of make sense? If not, contact me, drop a note in the comments or shoot a message to me through Instagram or even on a Facebook group, and let's talk it out. I'm really interested in this topic and really enjoy understanding what our belief systems are. So let's discuss those 5 limiting beliefs that I believe are the ones that we all struggle with, some more than others. What I would like you to do is to grab your journal, jot down these ideas so that you can quickly reference what are your limiting beliefs or what are your major limiting beliefs. Some are greater than others. Some people don't struggle with certain limiting beliefs at all. The first limiting belief is very common on teams, is that someone makes a decision or someone does something and you feel like it's bad and that they're doing something to ruin your progress or they're against you. But the truth is that everyone does the best they can on a team with what they know at the time and the skills they have and the time that they have to make the choice and the decision. It's not that anybody is against you. What ends up happening is that if you really believe this, that they're against you, then you're starting to ruin the teamwork. You'll ruin the velocity of work that you can get done on a team because there's this limiting belief that someone is out to get you. What happens is that if you really do believe that, then it'll come true. And you essentially will limit the amount of progress that you'll make because you're being blocked by this person that you feel is bad. So grab out your journal, write down the last time that you really felt like your progress was hindered by someone else, on purpose even, when probably the truth is that it really wasn't. The second limiting belief is that you can't do something or you can't be something or you're not capable of something. So if you ever hear yourself say, I can't do that, I'm too big, I'm too small, I'm not trained enough, I'm not capable, I'm not smart enough, my education level's not high enough. These are all limiting beliefs. The truth is that you have what you need to get the job done. And if you believe that and you work hard enough and understand that you can be successful regardless of all these things that your mind is telling you, you will be successful. Just like my example previously, public speaking. If you really are afraid of public speaking for whatever reason, afraid of judgment, or afraid of whatever it is, failure, that is going to be your limiting belief and you will be terrible at it. So the best thing to do is squash that belief. Tell yourself, I can do this. I've got the skills. I am the right person for the job. And believe it or not, you will actually begin to succeed if you squash that limiting belief. All right, the first two limiting beliefs that we talked about are probably easier to identify. We'll get on to some harder ones. I've got 3 more. But first, will you hit the like button for me? Let me know. I really enjoy this research. I really enjoy these topics. Let me know if you enjoy it too. Okay, the third limiting belief is comparison. You know, they say that comparison is the thief of joy, and it's true. What happens is that you were made with a unique set of skills, and you were made with a unique set of talents. And when you compare your unique skills and talents, like apples, to someone else's unique skills and talents, like oranges, you're comparing apples and oranges. And this very rarely works out for you in your favor. So it becomes a limiting belief. The fitness industry is full of this kind of like, you can gain or lose or build or run faster or do whatever. And they do a lot of comparison. But the truth is that you are unique and your skills and your talents are yours. So when you compare yourself to others, you begin to limit yourself. I'm not able to jump like Michael Jordan, or I'm not able to golf like Tiger Woods, or whatever the situation is. This is really a limiting belief. The problem is that it's difficult to identify these. You may feel like progress is the only thing I care about. I don't care about the how much weight I can lift. But actually, when you see that other guy lifting, what's going through your mind is like, man, he's bench pressing a lot. I don't know if I can actually, I'm never going to be able to get to that. So it ends up being a limiting belief. The truth is that if you believe that you can't do something or that you're not as good as someone else, then you probably won't be. And that's just terrible. You need to get past that. The fourth limiting belief is vulnerability. What ends up happening is that we feel like vulnerability is weakness. So in any given situation, when someone says something to us and we feel vulnerable, what we'll do is we'll withdraw because we feel like vulnerability is weakness. The actual truth is that vulnerability is how we establish deep relationships. And in those deep relationships, we challenge each other and we grow. So if you're not being vulnerable with people, or you're not being vulnerable with your teammates or your family members, then you probably are limiting your growth potential because you're holding back. And when you hold back and you believe that you're unsafe, then you will be unsafe and you will be held back. And by the way, vulnerability is kind of a double-edged sword. So if you are feeling vulnerable, it's good to listen to that. If you're in an unsafe situation with an unsafe person and you're trying to experience some vulnerability with someone that is a narcissist or somebody who's kind of bent, that could be dangerous. So be careful with vulnerability as a limiting belief. Try to understand who you can be vulnerable with, family members, close friends, co-workers a lot of times. These are good places to experience vulnerability. It's not so good to experience vulnerability in an abusive relationship. So just a word for the wise, be careful. Hey, if you like these so far, please subscribe. Again, hit the like button. I appreciate it. I'm really encouraged by the number of subscriptions I've gotten recently and the number of feedback, the amount of feedback that I'm getting. All right, the fifth limiting belief is busyness. We always feel like if we're not busy, then we're not important. Or if we're not busy, we're not being successful. So we find ourselves overcommitting to too many things. We have a problem with balancing urgent versus important. And what ends up happening is that we fill our day and we go from one urgent thing to the next. And ultimately, this belief that being busy is success or being busy means that we're important, what it does is it tears away at the margin that you have in your life for important opportunities. So you limit yourself by being busy because you're not available for opportunities that may actually give you more growth. There could be actually financial opportunities, relationship opportunities. They're all squashed because you're busy doing something. And what you believe is the important things, but they may not be all that important. They're just urgent. So having a good, understanding between urgent and important, and doing the important things because you know that the important things are more important than the urgent things. Anyway, that limiting belief can really keep you from growing into new opportunities. Okay, so those are the 5 limiting beliefs that I wanted to share with you today. If any of these rang a bell with you, or if anything caught your attention as you were writing them down in your journal, could you let me know? I would appreciate some feedback on this. It's a new area of learning for me, and I'm experiencing a lot of personal satisfaction and growth by understanding limiting beliefs. And I'd like to know if you also experience that. So let me know. Okay guys, that's it for now. See you next time.